Yeah, right there, guys. Just want a quick comment before I start into today's video. As soon as I put my video up about the Jeremy Kyle show, I found out that the Jeremy Kyle YouTube channel has actually been shut down, which is a shame because I still think it would have. Still got a lot of views. I still probably would have watched some of it, which is why I haven't been able to put the link in the description, which is what I said I would do. So I apologise for that, but obviously there's not a lot I can do about it. I'd like to thank you for watching the video because it's nearly got 100. It's only been up for a week, which I'm very, very happy about. And I got some decent comments, and yeah, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, we'll now start on this video.
Okay guys, this is about what's happened just recently. As you may or may not know, the Prime Minister has resigned. I'm just going to quickly speak about her, what she did and why she resigned, and then go into what I think what needs to be sorted, and then you'll see me do a proper video on what needs to be sorted, and we'll go from there. Okay, for anybody who does not know, Theresa May has resigned after the European elections due to people, mostly her cabinet and people in Parliament, wanting her to resign. She led after David Cameron resigned due to the vote that the UK people cast 2 years ago, to leave the EU. She took over and had to go through all the things about it to try and get us a deal, so when we leave we can do what we need to do. Unfortunately this hasn't gone quite to plan, hence the reason why she's been asked to resign. I think she's done fairly well with what she's managed to do, and I think just her party and Parliament have let her down, which is a shame. So now that she's left, obviously there's a new race to become the next Prime Minister from the Conservatives. You know who's going to take over from Theresa May, sorry. And I'm not going to talk about them in this video, as I'm not exactly sure who's put their name in, due to the fact that there has been so many names linked with it. So it'd be unwise for me to actually say who's going to take it and who I think will win, because at the moment I don't even know who's in it, because it seems like everybody's in it. But what I am going to talk about is what this new Prime Minister and government have to do for the people who put them in, whether it be the Conservatives, Labour or somebody else. Whoever goes into Parliament and who becomes the next Prime Minister, these are things that need to be resolved and sorted, and so that's what I'll be talking about in this video.
Okay guys, right, what needs to be sorted in the UK right now? Quite a lot, to be honest. After the shambles that's been the government over the past 2 years, after we all decided, or should I say the UK decided to leave the EU, a lot of things have gone wrong because they've been so concentrated on trying to get us out of the EU. The first thing is schools are terrible at the moment. They're getting good and outstanding schools, which is good. They're getting a lot more people to actually have the education they deserve and stuff like that. But the big but is that schools are struggling financially. Teachers aren't getting the services that they need. They're not getting certain things like pencils, pads, pieces of paper, stuff like that, because they just don't have the money to do that. Apparently the government says, oh, we're going to put all this money, we've put all this money into it, but for some weird reason it's not enough. That might be that people who run schools, who, you know, they might be taking a huge cut out of that and making sure that they keep it, instead of giving it to the schools who need it, to give our children the best education possible. The next thing that's very bad at the moment is also the NHS, which we all know about. We haven't got enough nurses, haven't got enough doctors, haven't got enough of anything, to be honest. It is an absolute diabolical situation to be in. I don't understand why we are in such a sorry state. Sorry about my hair being stuck up, I can't seem to get it down. And they keep saying, "Oh, we're going to and it all seems to be about, oh, we'll put this money in, we'll put that money in to solve this problem." But it's deeper scent than that. There's more to it than that. We, you know, the people at the top of these like big things like the NHS, the police, schools, whatever, they take so much money that's supposed to be put into the schools, put into the, they don't like sign enough doctors on, they don't sign enough nurses on, they don't put the money where it's meant to go, they put it all in their pockets, which is like the wrong thing to do. I might get a lot of stick for what I've just said, but it's the truth, simple as that. The next one obviously is policing, which brings me on to my next point, which is obviously over the past month, 2 months, maybe 3 months, there has been a lot more stabbings in the UK. People being stabbed, gang crime, and crime is on the increase, serious crime is on the increase, because at the moment policing is so bad, because at the moment we don't have a police force, because we don't have a police force. It's just as simple as that at the moment, it seems. When I walk around now, I don't ever see cops on the street where they need to be, because they have made so many cuts that we don't have police on the streets now, which makes the streets more dangerous. And it's like, why? It doesn't make sense. If you're going to take police off the streets, you need to have a plan why, and there is none. So that's why we're in this situation now. We've got no police on the streets. We've got no deterrence. Teenagers are getting involved in gang crime and stuff like that. And some of that is down to other cuts that the government has made when it comes to like youth hostels, where kids can go and like enjoy themselves without being getting involved in gang crime, where they can just like go and relax. There's nothing for that around about for kids now. It's really bad. But all this stems from the big issue, which is BritX. It's why Theresa May left, because it's been a farce. It's because the reason why David Cameron left when he left was because he didn't want to do the negotiations, because he wanted to remain in the EU. But 2 years ago, they gave us the choice to come out of the EU or stay in the EU, and we decided to leave. Simple as that. And it is just been a complete farce, to be quite honest, over the last couple of years. And Theresa May did her job, which was to go to the EU and negotiate a deal, which she got. And I think, from the sounds of it, it was a pretty good deal. It would we'd still be in the single market, so we wouldn't have any issues with trade with the EU, but we'd still be able to go off and get our own trade deals from all around the world, which is what we needed to do. It would protect our jobs and stuff like that, which is good, and keep EU rights for the EUs that are here and for the UK that are living abroad in the EU. And that was all good, and there would be no hard border between Ireland and Northern Ireland. It would stop free immigration, so we could only bring people into the country that have skills that we need, for doctors and whatever. And yeah, it seemed like a sweet deal. And every time that Theresa May has put it towards the Parliament, because the Parliament have to decide, they have to say yes to back the deal, they've said no. 3 times they've said no, which has stalled it. And I don't think it's the deal that the Parliament. I think it's the fact that Parliament don't want to leave the EU. They want to remain, and that is the big problem. problem is that all the people in Parliament want to stay in the EU, which I think is wrong. At the end of the day, we have made a decision, and this is why I think democracy at the moment seems to be very dead. Because at the moment, what we're wanting, what the British people decided, we are not getting. We are still in the EU. We said we'd be out by March, and we're in June now, and we still haven't. It still hasn't happened. It said we've been told it will be October, but the thing is, if we don't have a deal, we'll probably end up staying. So it's one of those. Can't be helped. A lot of people are very frustrated with the government because of this, and yeah, it's just a bad thing, and yeah, not happy about it, and I don't think a lot of people are happy about it. But yeah, the new Prime Minister has got a lot to solve, whoever it might be, whether it be he or she. They'll have a lot to solve. They'll have to finish off BritX, unlock that money that we get from getting out of the EU, and fixing the problems that we've got with the NHS, with the police, with the schools, fixing all those problems. And whoever it is has got a very, very big task on their hands. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what happens when this new Prime Minister takes over. Right, now I've had my rant, so to speak. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and if you do like it, please give it a like, and comment on down below what you think about what the Prime Minister, the new one, when they get elected, has to do. What would you like to see them do, if there's anything I haven't mentioned. And if you like this sort of video, then, as I said, like and subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel, and yeah, thank you very much.